Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another QGIS tutorial of GeoPackage. In previous tutorial, we saw that how can you create a GeoPackage in QGIS and how can you create tables of geometry of line, point, and polygon inside a GeoPackage, and how GeoPackage is different from easily shapefile and file geodatabase. So if you want to know all these basic things, then please watch the previous tutorial. Choosing the right field data type in QGIS is very important because it saves memory, stop bad data, and make map fast. If I will open its attribute table and add a field, then here field types. There are many field types. Today we are going to see how and when we have to use these field types. Even if I will turn this off and drag and drop a shapefile just like this and open its attribute table, start editing, add a field. Now field name or field types are limited. If I will cross this one, stop the editing, cross this, I want to import this shapefile into my GeoPackage, then just simply drag and drop it over here. But make sure the coordinate system will be same. Just drag and drop this shapefile into this GeoPackage. Now remove this one from over here and again drag and drop this shapefile. Now this time this is inside a database and it's a table. So now open this attribute table, start editing, open the field type. Now all the powerful field types are enabled in this table. So first of all, if I will open the attribute table and here if I will add a field, then the first two fields name are integer 32-bit and 64-bit. So what is the difference between these two fields? We can use these integer 32 and 64 when we are trying to add any number data without any decimal. For example, over here, FID, field or feature ID 1, 2 for unique number, or if you want to add a age of any person, then you can use integer. Even if you want to add the count of trees inside this polygon, then you can simply use integer. And when to use integer 64? When you know that your record or your rows will exceed 10 lakh or 20 lakh data, then you have to use this integer 64-bit. Now we will see that when and how to use this decimal number. Whenever you know that your data will be in decimals. For example, you want to calculate area and area can be in 43 point something square meter. Then the field type will be decimals. For example, I will type the name of this field area and type will be decimal. Hit OK. And if you want to calculate the area, open field calculator, update existing field, select your area, add a dollar button over here and type area. Hit OK. Now over here, this will calculate area for these polygons and the area will be in decimals. If you will keep this field type integer, then you will not have these decimals in this value. Also, you can create a dynamic calculator, area calculator for you. If I will stop this editing, close this one, go to the properties of this polygon in attribute form, go to area field and right over here, add a default value and type dollar area for it. This will automatically calculate area for you when you will edit or create any feature. And check this button, apply default value on update. Hit OK. If I will turn on toggle editing on this and make a polygon just like this, this FID will be auto generated and the name of location will be farm and area is automatically calculating for me for that default field. Hit OK. Stop your edits, save your edits and open the attribute table. The area has been calculated for you, so you don't need to go every time in field calculator and run the same command. Now we will see that how to use and when to use this string or text data type. Whenever you know that your data will have numbers and characters, even the punctuation marks, then you have to use this text field. Let's add a text field. And also you can use this text field in dynamic ways. For example, if I will add a text field with name as created underscore by and maximum length, let's suppose will be 40, hit OK. Only 40 characters can be added inside this field value and save your edits. Let's say whenever a user will create a polygon, its username will be added in that field created by. Go to the properties again, go to attribute form and select this created by. And over here in default value, add this user full name. Right now it is saying that it is Dell because my PC username is Dell. But if you want to change or add any other name, then you can go to settings and in options, and from over here go to variable and add a new variable like GIS underscore analyst, and the value will be Osama. Copy this one from over here, hit OK. Now again go to the properties and select your created by field and hit at the rate JS analyst, hit OK. Now if I will make any other polygon, who will draw this polygon, his name will automatically add it in this created by field, and the location name is farm, hit OK. Save your edits, open the attribute table created by Usama. Now we are going to see that how to use and when to use this date or time. If you will select date, then you will have only the date, and if you will select date and time, then you will have the exact time stamp, for example on this date and on this time. So I will use date and time and created at underscore at, hit OK. So you just created a field name as created and its field type is date over here and timestamp over here. Now save your edits and let's suppose go to the properties, and this time on created at in default value just type now, just like this, and apply default value and update, hit OK. Now, if I will create any field or update any field, then the timestamp will change to now. Start your editing and again make a new polygon just like this, and just type the name agriculture and created by Usama, created at this time, hit OK. Save your edits on the attribute table. Now here you can see that this agriculture area this automatically calculated created by Osama on this timestamp. All these things are dynamic, and you just type this agriculture. Let's suppose you don't need to type this agriculture every time. So again go to its attribute table and this time select this name of location field and in weightage type and select this value map. First value will be agriculture. Second value will be farm and hit OK. Now if I will again draw another polygon right over here just like this, and this time this will be automatically generated, and you have to select your name of location or type of location, residential area automatically calculated, who created this and at what timestamp, hit OK. Save your edits and then go to the attribute table. This time it's residential, Osama created. Everything is dynamic. You don't need to type. You can create dynamic forms for you so you can enter your data quickly, accurately, without any mistakes. Also, let's suppose that you want to restrict your user, then that please don't leave this empty because everything is automatically calculated. He just has to select the type of location. So for this, restrict your user. Open the properties, go to the attribute form, and in name of location, add a constraint not null and enforce this not null constraint, apply and hit OK. Now if you will create another polygon just like this, and you cannot hit OK until you fill this value. Everything is automatically calculated, but you have to select something from over here so your data remain consistent. Let's suppose this is agriculture, and now OK button is available for you. Hit OK. Now you just created another polygon. Save your edits. Everything is automatically calculated, and this is enforced one. User has to select anything from the field. So this is how you can play in text field type. This is a field type of text. This is also a field type text. But this is we're going to see that when and how to use this Boolean. field type. Whenever you want to add an answer of yes or no, then you can use this boolean. For example, I want to add a field like all these parcels are operational or not, and boolean, hit OK. Everything is false by default, but if you want to set something true, then just check this one and everything become true. This is the boolean, true or false. Are these parcels are operational, true or false? We are going to see another field type, that is JSON string. So if you want a JSON field type, then you can use this JSON. For example, in this case, if your parcel have any attributes or properties, then you can use a JSON field type. For example, we can type this as properties. Hit OK. Now, if you want to edit this one, then you have to add a key and its value. For example, number of person in this parcel are 5. You can say that trees are 12 and save your edits. So everything will be in JSON format, and this is the key and its value right over here. Now we are going to see this data type of blob. Blob means binary large object field in QGIS. It is a data type used to store raw binary data like images, document, compressed file. It's mean that this field can store any image from your PC into binary format, and it is only available in databases like PostgreSQL or GeoPackage. In simple shapefile, you will not find this field name. Hit OK, add a field name img and hit OK. Let's suppose for this parcel I want to add an image. So I will just embed it in here, this image. The size of this image is 22 KB. It's stored in binary. You will see nothing, just you will see binary or blob. Save your edits just like this. So using blob in your tables can increase the size of your GeoPackage. Now we will see that how can you visualize this image in any pop-up or when you will hit any parcel. Select close this one. As we are unable to see the binaries of our blob in field, we can visualize it from Python. So hit Ctrl Alt P and your Python console is available right over here. Add a code just like this. This layer is actually selecting the active layer, this polygon, and then we are extracting feature and saving the feature into a variable from this layer. Then we are targeting the blob. In feature, the field name is img. So in the field of img of every feature, blob is stored. Let's print this blob in bytes. Instead of printing all binaries, we are just printing first 50 binaries and run this code. So here, this is the first 50 words how your image has been stored in blob. Now if I will hit this, then you can see over here we are unable to see that image because that image is stored in binary. If you want to decode that image and want to see the preview of that image, then actions are very helpful for this. Make a right click on your polygon, go to properties and go to actions. Create a default action from over here and add action. Now the type will be Python. I have write a code with the help of GPT and I told him that on select to that polygon, use img image for this table and create a preview for me. So uncheck this one, and this is the code that I have got from ChatGPT. Here it is using the img field that we have recently created from the attribute table. Add a description like show image, and short name of this action will be show image, and hit OK. Apply this one and hit OK. First of all, we have to select this one, and then if I will use this identifier tool, make a right click on this, and that action is available right over here, show image. Hit OK. That image that is stored in binary format inside a field is now available over here. So you can use blob field just like this. You can add documents, you can add images, you can add anything, any file over here in blob that will be saved in binary. But if you want to preview it in your web dashboards, then you have to change its binary into preview. So now let's suppose that you have a lot of parcels, and for that parcel you have to add image against every parcel. That will increase the size of GeoPackage. So there is an alternative way to store the image in a table. You just save the name of that image in a field and then access that file name with that field value. Let me show you how can we do this. First of all, open the attribute table and this time edit and add a field name as image name. This time this will be a text and maximum character that can be 100. Hit OK and save your edits. Go to the properties and again attribute forms. Select this image name from here and this time use the weightage of attachment. And from here select existing file and then you have to assign a default path. For example, execution images is a folder path where my all images are available. Select this one. Now you can use absolute path or relative path. So first of all, let's see what is the absolute path. Now hit OK. Start your editing. Open the attribute table and this time from here we have to select the image. So when I hit this button land me into my default path that I have set in that properties. So from here I select this image 1 and open it. So here save your edits. From the Nespark folder in WebGIS was a app static have all paths. So absolute name stored the complete path of that image over here. But I only want the name of image. So for that, first of all, remove this one. It's like this. Save your edits. And again, open the properties. And this time select the image name and select relative to default path. Okay. I will start editing over here. Go to its attribute table and select that image. Open it. Now only the image name is now available in my field value. Save your edits and the image name is available right over here. 1.jpg. So just like that, you can add multiple images over here and you can use text type field dynamically. So that's all for today, and in next tutorial we will again do a deep dive in weightages and actions in the properties of tables. Many thanks. Take care. Allah Hafiz.